A sales medium means I am going to convey to you the key information you need to know to determine whether or not this is the right program for you. Consumer behaviors show that people are not reading a 20-page document to decide whether or not they should join your program. And I will tell you, you can work hard on the front end and you can do a bunch of work building out these automations and then have it be a set it and forget it later. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cheer Biz Podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about how to get the most out of your all-star packet release for the 25-26 season. But before we get into the episode, please head on over to Cheer Gym Owners on Facebook and make sure you are in that group if you're a gym owner, and All-Star Cheer Coaches and Owners if you're a cheer coach or a cheer coach and owner on Facebook as well. And make sure you're in our groups and you're taking advantage of all of the great information we have going on in those groups. Now, I also have an announcement to make. If you are a owner who is headed to the All-Star World Championships, first off, I want to say congratulations on your end of season bid. That is super exciting for you. And also tell you that we are running a conference on the Monday prior to the All-Star World Championships starting. It is going to be an absolutely awesome one-day event, perfect way to kind of end your season and get launched into next season. We also are announcing all of the information about our Dallas conference this summer in late June. It's going to be absolutely the biggest and the best cheer conference in the industry this year, and you're not going to want to miss it. We've got some really exciting things happening, some cool partnerships, some amazing sponsors, and some really great guest speakers. So we're super excited about that. Make sure you get registered and get registered early. You're not going to want to miss either of these events, and they are both different in terms of the topics we're going to be covering. So make sure you get registered for one or both. We'd love to see you there. And I believe I will actually be in Orlando this year. So please make sure that you come and say hi if you attend that conference. So getting into the episode, this has been on my mind. I've done a detailed breakdown for our Academy members on building their all-star packets. And I've had a number of people reaching out because it's that time of year. Full honesty, we are done with our packet. We're just putting kind of like the finishing grammatical touches on it, and we're releasing it this coming week. It is going to go out for people to begin downloading and registering for the next season. And at time of recording, it is currently February 7th. It's going to release around the 15th. And that is going to be a actually slightly later release than we did last year, but we wanted to rework a few things in our packet. And this is the time of year where everyone is looking at what is everyone else doing, and how do we get the most leverage out of this packet, and what do we need to include? So I'm going to talk briefly on the packet. I'm not going to be able to give you guys the entire class that I gave to my Academy members, but I'm also going to talk through the things that I'm doing to get the most out of my packet, how to really leverage it the best way possible. So first off, the number one thing you need to keep in mind, and I've said this before and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, your packet is a sales medium. It is meant to pitch your program to your prospective and your current clients. It is not a rules and guidelines handbook. You need to get most of that nonsense out of your packet. You don't need it in there. And all you're doing is convincing people who may have been a great client not to join your program because there's way too much information, or you're starting with all these like scary rules and guidelines. And to be honest, people are not going to read every single thing. So if you are someone who has a 14 or a 15 or a 20 page, which I've seen, packet, you got to slim it down. You've got to have a shorter, more succinct packet where people can find the information that they need and make a decision whether or not to join your program or whether or not they want more information, but you need to make it simple for them. So use your packet as a sales medium. And what do I mean by that? Without going into great detail and breaking down every single page you should have in it. A sales medium means I am going to convey to you the key information you need to know to determine whether or not this is the right program for you. Now, this is not the perfect sales medium, and that's actually going to be some of the stuff I'm going to talk about next, because the first people who are going to register for your program based off of your packet are really the people who don't need your packet. They know they want your product. They know they want to be cheering in your gym next year, and your packet is not the convincing method to get them to join. They're not reading it and going, oh my gosh, this is exactly it. They have probably been waiting. They're your people who are in your funnel. They're your people who have done fundamentals programs. They're people who have done tumbling classes at your gym. They already know they want to compete with you next year or join some sort of a competitive team, and they are ready to sign up. So those are the people who are going to download the packet, get the key pieces of information, and sign up pretty much right away. Do that early registration. So you've got to make sure that you give them the key and critical information they need to have, and then leave all of the rest out of it, because you just need them to register. And then you can get them all those key and critical details later in terms of like parent rules and guidelines and all of those other things. So what are things you should include in your packet? One, you should cover a generalized, this is what each program level costs. So if you have a variety of programming in your gym, let's say you have fundamentals and you have novice, or maybe you have a non-affiliated and you have, which is a separate program, but you have some sort of non-affiliated offering. Maybe you have stunt, maybe you have novice, maybe you have prep, maybe you have elite, maybe you have premier, and you've got all these different categories. Then you're going to need to explain to them what those differences are. And they're going to need to see what are the cost differences, what are the time commitment differences, what are the coaching differences, what are the travel differences. It's those key things so they can kind of compare and contrast the different programs and determine what's right for them. Another thing I would highly recommend you include in your packet is your key critical dates. Let people know what they need to be marking off on their calendar, and make sure if you have things that are like a no-go, you absolutely cannot miss it. There's no way around it. If they miss this one date, the world is over and they may as well not try out. Then make sure you have that in there. So for instance, if you are a Worlds program, you might want to let them know when Worlds is, and that is a non-negotiable event. So they don't sign up to join a Worlds team and then say, oh, well, I actually can't go to Worlds. That would be kind of silly. You're going to make sure that you have that information for them. That's absolutely critical so they can compare and contrast the programs. That is the generalized, it's a sales packet. Most everything else, it doesn't need to be in your packet. You can handle it later. It is not something that people need to see to determine whether or not they should join. Again, consumer behaviors show that people are not reading a 20-page document to decide whether or not they should join your program. And you're not trying to convince people not to join you. You're trying to convince people to join you. Now, the next most important thing you need to do to get the most out of your packet, and I've mentioned this before, is you need to have a website that allows you to exchange the packet for people's emails, phone numbers, and contact information. So if you don't have that and you're someone who's just posting your packet online, the reason I don't want you to do that has nothing to do with what the industry standard might be. People will say, I don't want to post my packet online because I don't want my competitors to have access to it. Girl, I don't care. If you are my competitor and you opt in to get my packet, the only thing that annoys me about that is that I'm now marketing to you and I'm now sending you my marketing materials, and that's it. That's literally the only thing, is that you're eating up some of my marketing time and attention. That otherwise, I don't care. I don't care if you have my packet. It does not bother me at all. Look at it. It doesn't bug me. Because it's not a secret. I'm not hiding anything. There used to be way back in the day, I remember people in our area were having parents call and ask questions and be like, well, what are your costs? And top secret-y stuff. Again, girl, I don't care. My cost sheet is not top secret. I'll share it. doesn't matter. I don't care if you know what I cost. If your approach is to try and undercut my costs and that's your sales technique, I don't recommend it. And if you think that is a technique you're going to use, I would recommend you check out my book, Charge What You're Worth, because that's not a good way to build your pricing. But I'm happy to share with anyone. I don't care if they want to know what I charge for All-Star Cheerleading, because it's different for every area and every gym, and you need to build your pricing accordingly to what you do. So all that stuff, I don't care. I don't care if it's my competitors getting it. What I want, though, is I want to be able to market to people. I need to leverage my packet, because the people who get it, on average, we're going to see a percentage of the people who request your packet actually sign up and register, which means that there are people who are interested in your programming that are signing up and registering for your program. So we need to have a marketing plan to engage with those people. Not everyone's going to sign up right away. And this is the number 2 way you're going to leverage it. So you need to have a website that allows you to capture people's emails and phone numbers. And then I believe for ease of life, you need to have a system where you can engage with people through automated emails, text message, and various things like that. Now, there are a number of systems out there where there are some things that we do. There's a couple different ones. There's one that we use in NextGen. I'm actually in the process of testing and utilizing a different program, or software, I should say. But you need to have you can build out your automations. It takes time. And in fact, after I get done recording this, I'm going to be spending some time recording things for my automations, because I have this awesome studio. So why not? But you need to have a tool that allows you to automate this stuff. Can you do it without it? Absolutely. It's just going to be a lot more work, because when someone opts in, you're then going to have to send them the packet, and then you're going to have to continually email them to encourage them to register. You need to have that built. And then you need to have a series of engagements that are the follow-on sales tactics, because just posting your packet and having someone opt in to get your packet is like going to the bar and walking up to a person that you're interested in and just saying, "Hey, yo, you want to do this thing?" and nothing else. Right? Now, you might hit a home run and they might be like, "Yep, that's exactly what I'm looking for when I came to the bar tonight." But most people want to be wined and dined. They want to get to know you. They want to learn more about you. And having someone become your client is creating a relationship. Even if that relationship is not like you're not best friends and you're not going out to dinner, you're still building a relationship with one another. And it's really important that you let them know who you are. That's really what they're going to be assessing. So you need to be engaging with those people who get your packet via email. Email is the cheapest communication method, maybe even calling and following up with those people to see if they have questions, but engaging with people. And I will tell you, I have my email series post packet is over 13 emails that people are going to get that are going to be dripped to them with the ultimate goal of getting them to register. I want those people to sign up and join my program and get registered for tryouts. So I'm using that email campaign to sell them, to tell them how amazing we are, tell them how amazing our people are, give them testimonials and all of those different things, which means I'm doing a lot of work on that process. I'm working really hard on the front end, building all those things out. And then I schedule the automations. So once I release my packet, it is relatively, as long as nothing technologically goes wrong, I'm hands off. I don't even have to touch it, which is just a wonderful feeling that these people opt in, they get the packet sent to them, and it's all just working behind the scenes. So I'm working a lot on the front end, and I'm building this strategy and this plan to then have the back end process very, very simple once people start registering. My third thing to get the most out of your packet and your registration process is to have a tiered registration system, which means you have an early registration or a super early registration, an early and then an on time, or a early, on time, late registration. And we use the timeline of this is only available at this price for this time to encourage people to register early. I want to see that the numbers that I'm tracking is how many people are downloading my packet. That lets me know the general interest in my program and how many people are registering. And if I can get 75 or 100 people to register for my All-Star program before early registration ends, and so before March 15th, I know that I have 100 people registered for my program, I'm starting to feel really, really good and go, okay, this is how I can look at my budget and I can budget for the next season intelligently because I'm getting that information early on. I'm not making it in a vacuum with guesstimates. So that's one of the things that you need to make sure that you're doing. Now, it gets asked to me all the time of like, well, what do people get for registering? They're registering for the season. It is a registration fee. Now, for us, that includes their trial clinic, their evaluation day. It includes all of those things, as well as all of their athlete signing day and all their other paperwork. They don't need to like pay any additional for those things. So we tell them that's what it covers. And when they ask, well, why does it cost more late? It's because it's a discount for signing up early. That's why it is that. It is a special offer. And it is, yes, we want to incentivize people to sign up early. And once you have people registering, again, you need to build your automations to engage with those people from that point. And I will tell you, you can work hard on the front end and you can do a bunch of work building out these automations and then have it be a set it and forget it later. So utilize the systems and the tools that are out there to make your life easier and make your registration process stress-free and painless for both you and your clients. And they get all the information they need without you having to do it onesie twosie mixed at various different times. So breaking it down again, you need to have a packet that is for sales. It's designed to sell your program and not be a bunch of other information and nonsense. Number two, you need to be able to collect people's emails and phone numbers so you can market to them after they get the packet. Number three is you need to build your marketing plan, your sequence of events that are going to convert people from being on the fence about whether or not they should join to joining your program. And then once they've registered, you need your sequence of emails to keep people engaged, get them excited, remind them that they made a great decision, and give them all the information they need to be successful for your evaluations and your upcoming season. And that is how you get the most out of your packet. By doing a lot of work on the front end, you can make this process so much easier for you. Now, I will tell you, this process is made much easier within our academy because we have templates that we share with our academy members. Our academy members have the ability to sign up for a CGM website, and a CGM website converts. It is a life-changing kind of thing because all the things I'm talking about are utilized through my website, which is basically, it's a CGM website. I obviously make some modifications. So there are a few things that I do on my website that aren't on every CGM website, but you can utilize those websites, those tools, the academy to build these things out. And I will tell you guys, there is nothing more important right now than doing this the right way if you're an all-star program. You got to build your pricing correctly. You got to release your packet correctly. You got to market and put out the information correctly. And if you do those things, you're setting yourself up for success for the next 12 months. So the work that you're doing right now in late January, early February is so mission essential in terms of what is going to dictate your future headed into next season. And if you're in the moment, you're in February and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm having trouble making ends meet. X, Y, and Z didn't work out in terms of financially. Now's the time to figure it out because you're going to make the decisions now that are going to impact future you in February and March. So make sure that you're making the right decisions, you're budgeting correctly, you're utilizing your funnels within your gym to get new members into the program and leveraging your packet as a sales tool to get new members into the gym. And if you do that, you will see the growth that you're looking for. So I hope that this has been of value to you. If you need more help, NextGen exists to do this. Make sure that you go onto nextgenowners.com and you book a call to learn what it takes to join the academy. We would love to have you with us. We would love to help you in your gym. And I know that money might be tight right now, but I promise you there is no better time to join the academy than right now. And I know I say that a lot, but generally the best time to join is right now, because every month you wait is potentially knowledge and money that you are losing because you don't have the knowledge and you don't know how to execute on that knowledge. It's what is the price of ignorance, not what is the price of the academy. All right, everyone, I appreciate your time. It's always a pleasure getting to chat with you. I appreciate you spending an hour here and an hour there with me every week. Thank you very much. Again, pick up the book. It's called Charge What You're Worth. It is available on Amazon and Audible. I believe it's also on Apple Books as well. So make sure you pick up your copy. You utilize the resources to help you set your pricing. And with that, we will catch you on the next episode.